And let's round up for you this morning the number of cases as confirmed by the government of coronavirus. The total confirmed cases at this point stands at 1,90,535. The death toll has gone up to 5,394. Maharashtra has the most number of cases, is the worst affected state in the country with 67,655 cases and deaths going up to 2,296 so far. Over to Tamil Nadu, where in fact the number of cases has gone up to 22,333 with 173 deaths being reported in the state so far. Delhi is the third worst affected state in the country with 19,844 cases and 473 deaths being reported so far. Those are the latest figures from the Health Ministry as of 6:30 this morning. Let's also round up for you the top 5 developments. The number of containment zones in the national capital has gone up to 147. A total of 57 zones have been decontained so far. The Delhi Disaster Management Authority has sought details of extra beds for coronavirus patients and cremation grounds from Delhi district magistrates given the rise in cases in the capital. 2 coronavirus cases have been reported from the CBI headquarters in Delhi, including a junior level staffer. Both patients are in quarantine. Officials have now begun contact tracing of all those who came in touch with the infected patients. For the third consecutive day, Gujarat has reported over 400 new cases. 423 fresh coronavirus cases were reported on Monday, which took its total count over the 16,000 mark. Of the total cases, 12,494 are from Ahmedabad alone, currently the worst hit in the state. Uttar Pradesh has reported 286 new cases in the last 24 hours, taking the total count near the 8,000 mark. Agra continues to be the worst district with 890 cases, followed by Noida, which has 484 cases. Section 144 has been imposed in Noida till June 30th. With 102 new coronavirus cases, Tripura reports its highest single-day spike. All of them have travel history. Total cases in the state has crossed the 400 mark. Over 150 BSF personnel and their family members are also among those infected in Tripura. On April 25th, the state was declared coronavirus-free, but has witnessed a sharp surge since then. And it's day 2 of Unlock India 1.2. From Jammu and Kashmir to Tamil Nadu, nearly all states have eased restrictions considerably, except of course in containment zones. On day 1 of easing curbs, rush was witnessed on the roads and markets as many people came together thronging outside these areas after curbs were lifted outside containment zones. In the capital, after the government announced sealing of borders for a week with movement restricted, heavy traffic snarls were seen at the Delhi-Noida, Delhi-Faridabad and Delhi-Gurgaon borders. Now, as the coronavirus tally nears 2 lakh, at this point we stand at 1,90,535. The coronavirus crisis in the country refuses clearly to let up. India on Monday reported 8,390 fresh coronavirus cases and 230 deaths in 24 hours. As the cases continue to rise unabated, government says that the recovery rate has improved to 48% and the mortality rate is on a decline. Maharashtra continues to remain the worst hit state in the country. The Maharashtra, in fact, has reported 2,361 COVID-19 cases and 76 deaths in 24 hours, which means that now in the state, there are over 67,000 cases of coronavirus. So far, over 2,200 people have lost their lives in the state. Tamil Nadu is the second worst hit state in the country and has reported its biggest ever spike with 1,162 cases being reported in a single day, out of which 960 cases are in Chennai alone. Now, the total cases in Tamil Nadu is inching towards the 23,000 mark with over 170 deaths. Let's focus this morning on what's happening in the national capital, where coronavirus cases are on the rise. Delhi has also recorded 50 new deaths. That's the highest in a single day so far. The death toll in the capital has crossed the 500 mark. So far, 2.13 lakh tests have been conducted till May. Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia assured that Delhi is well prepared to deal with requirements of its citizens. He also made it clear that the city is not in a condition to host patients of other states. This comes after Chief Minister Kejriwal sought suggestions of citizens on whether they should keep the capital's hospitals open to treat outstation patients. The opposition, however, is up in arms over the move. BJP MPs Manoj Tiwari and Gautam Gambhir questioned the Kejriwal government's preparedness and also slammed them for lying about Delhi's preparedness to the citizens. BJP leader Vijender Gupta alleged that the government has failed to deal with the COVID crisis.
आज दिल्ली की तैयारी ये है कि दिल्ली के पॉपुलेशन जो दिल्ली में रहती है उनके लिए हमारी मेडिकल प्रिपेयर्डनेस पूरी है। मेरा आपसे ये सवाल है कि दिल्ली में अगर पेशेंट बढ़ेंगे तो उनके दिल्ली के पेशेंट कहाँ जाएंगे? अगर पूरे देश भर से, क्योंकि नेशनल कैपिटल है, दिल्ली है, यहाँ की सुविधाएं अपने अलग तरीके की हैं। अब अगर यहाँ से 500 किलोमीटर से 1000 किलोमीटर दूर से भी पेशेंट्स यहाँ आएंगे तो फिर दिल्ली के लोगों को अगर कल हुआ, दिल्ली में रहने वाले को, वो हर एक राज्य से आके रह रहे हैं, कोई दिल्ली का कोई दिल्ली तो अपना कोई वो नहीं है। मतलब कश्मीर से लेकर कन्याकुमारी तक से लोग दिल्ली में आके रह रहे हैं। उनमें से कल आज सारे बेड भरवा दो आप, कल अगर दिल्ली के किसी नागरिक को कोरोना होता है तो उसको कहाँ लेके जाएंगे?
आपके पास क्योंकि प्रॉपर अरेंजमेंट्स नहीं है, आपने अस्पतालों में बेड उपलब्ध नहीं कराए, आपने दिल्ली के लोगों को इस पूरे जो महासंक्रमण काल में किसी भी प्रकार की सुविधा नहीं दी और आप ऊपर से टैक्स बढ़ाए जा रहे हैं, पैसा लिए जा रहे हैं और उसके बाद आप कहते हैं कि हमारे पास सैलरी देने के लिए पैसा नहीं है। आज आप डॉक्टर्स का कोविड वॉरियर्स का मनोबल तोड़ने में लगे हुए हैं, उनको ये कहकर कि आपको सैलरी भी नहीं मिलेगी।
We're also getting you the latest from the second worst affected state in the country, that is Tamil Nadu, where COVID cases have been increasing by the day. And while the state government claims that they're putting their best foot forward and testing the maximum number of people, the reality seems to be very, very disappointing. Check out this report by Akshay Nath.
Tamil Nadu is second only to Maharashtra in terms of most COVID-19 cases, of which more than 75% are in Chennai alone. But on ground zero, the government seems to be faltering. At a time when medical experts have been advising on ramping up testing, in some cases, even immediate family members of COVID-19 patients are not being tested.
The son and the wife of the positive patient tried contacting the corporation officials, and we also tried contacting the corporation officials in the area concerned. But unfortunately, the reply from the corporation seems to be very weak. Seems to be not clear. Mentally degrading situation in the family, in that the positive patient is in the hospital, but the two immediate contacts are not being tested. So that is the plight that we are going through.
This family is not alone. Another family member shares the plight of losing a relative to the pandemic. The kin alleges that government hospitals are failing to do even the bare minimum.
The hospital got admitted my mother immediately the same time.
Okay.
But after I went to that is an ICU, not a normal ward.
Okay.
There is no doctor and nurse inside the ward. Okay. But all the beds are full. One more patient is very severe in the breathing difficulty. No nurse and doctor were supposed inside in the ward to treat the male person. Next day, my brother got severe fever and breathing difficulty too. Then we went to the primary health center. But really, we are stupid for going there, and at most we have spent 4 hours there. My brother got very tired and sit in the road itself. Then I went to the private hospital and checked for 4 of us. It cost 20,000 for us.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
on the same day I got the result. The next day I lost my mother.
But the administration says that all the home contacts and all symptomatic ill and other cases are compulsorily tested. The Greater Chennai Corporation says that they have reached 16,000 tests per million, which it claims is the highest in the country. As India prepares to unlock, restrictions still continue in Chennai. With cases spiking every day, more testing is key to containing the spread of the virus.
Test, test and test is the only solution towards finding a relief towards corona is what even WHO has said. But now what we're seeing here in Chennai is several families coming out and giving statements saying that the kind of measures that are seen or taken by the government is not sufficient. How will the state government approach this is something that we'll have to wait and watch. With camera person Daniel from Chennai, this is Akshay Nath for India Today.
And amid an unprecedented exodus of migrants, rural India is struggling to survive. With no economic activity and a dearth of resources, people residing in villages have been left at the mercy of the local administration. One of India's poorest regions, Bundelkhand, has reported an alleged death due to hunger. India Today's Moshmi Singh gets us this report.
Death doesn't come always unannounced. At times it comes knocking on your doors. Rajkumar seemed to see it coming from a long distance. What is disturbing is this man's calls for help did not elicit any response from the authorities.
दिक्कत यही है कि लॉकडाउन लगा हुआ है, न कहीं जा पा रहे हैं, न दवाई नहीं करा पा रहे हैं, भूखे मर रहे हैं 4 दिन से.
The 38-year-old who lived in Kuchbandiyan Purva village in Uttar Pradesh's Banda district allegedly died of hunger.
कब से नहीं खाना खाया?
4 दिन हो गया साहब.
घर में कुछ नहीं है?
कुछ नहीं है, न खेती न पाती, तो कहाँ से आएगा अल्लाह.
Rajkumar's description of his life under lockdown is no less than a dying declaration that no official version can reject or deny.
मृतक श्री राजकुमार कुछ से शुम्मी लंबे समय से बीमार चल रहे थे तथा उनकी मृत्यु बीमारी के कारण हुई है, ना कि भूख से.
जो लोग यहाँ पर हैं वो बता रहे हैं भूख खाने को नहीं था.
अब इसके बारे में तो भूख के तो हम नहीं कह सकते हैं. और ये भी जो अभी जो थोड़ा बहुत ही बता रहे हैं कि कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, उसके लिए हमारा STS है और चेकअप कराएंगे वाकई में टीबी है या कुछ और चीज़ है, ये पता चल जाएगा.
The death has sent alarm bells ringing. Sorrow has turned into anger as villagers surround officials who have paid a visit after many days of neglect.
बताओ हम गरीब आदमी जो हमें पेटे का नहीं है, अब भूखन मर थे तो हमें ना दी. ये कोई नियम थोड़ा. 200 लोगों की झोलियां भर रहे हैं सरकार, यहाँ गरीब आदमी भूखन मर रहा है.
Rajkumar belongs to one of the most backward Gumantu community and earned his daily wage by sharpening grinding stones in a nearby village. But the pandemic brought life to a grinding halt.
बाबूजी जब लाती रही मांग जो के तो खिलाती रही, जब नहीं रहा लॉकडाउन में नहीं जा पाती रही हूँ तो किसी दिन खाता रहा, किसी दिन पड़े रहते रहे. अब लॉकडाउन के मारे नहीं गया तो कुछ पेट भर खाना नहीं पाया, मरीज वैसी रहा तो बिना पैसा के मेरा बच्चा मर गया भूखा प्यासा.
The story is not Rajkumar's alone. The destruction of the rural economy has uprooted many lives. The writing on the wall screams out. Hunger and poverty have ruined the present. And the future looks uncertain.
आपके घर में ये भूख किसने लिखा है?
पापा.
ये क्यों लिखा है आपके पापा जी ने?
खाने के लिए.
Few days ago, villagers of this community sat on a hunger strike, demanding their share of ration.
क्या करो? जैसे कैसे यहाँ वहाँ से मांग के खावा. आदमी के 3 साल हो गए खत्म हो गए जेल में. कैसे खाना नहीं मिला था.
कोई बात नहीं.
Banda in Bundelkhand is one of the most backward regions of the country with high distress migration. The free ration is often not enough to support a family. Many don't even have ration cards.
हम लोगों को यहाँ भूखे मर रहे हैं बहन जी, और न हम लोगों को कोई सुनाई कर रहा है। जब जाते हैं कोटा में तो 5-5 किलो बताते हैं, अब 4-4 बच्चे हैं, दोनों पुरानी। हमें बताओ हम कितना महीना कितने दिन खाएंगे ये गल्ला? जब तक यहाँ हमारा फैसला न हो जाएगा तब तक हम बैठे रहेंगे।
दिन से खाना नहीं खाया और प्रधान से कहते भग जाओ इधर, कोटेदार ठा जाते हैं सब, वो भी खेदते हैं हमको, कहीं निकलने नहीं पाते हैं। छोटे छोटे बच्चे, नाती, बुढ़े आदमी चल नहीं पाते, पेट में हमारे जी नहीं है। जहाँ जाते हुए हम गाड़ी पाते हुए हमको कुछ सुनाई नहीं है साहब, अब भूखन मर रहे हैं।
The hunger strike lasted 3 days before they were pressured to wind up their protest.
Real India lives in villages, but often their voices are silenced by big-ticket announcements and quick-fix arrangements. Time is ticking as this pandemic unleashes its worst assault on rural India. It's time that governments adopt a more holistic approach to bail out Bharat before it's too late. With Ajay Chauhan in Banda, this is Mosmi Singh in Lucknow for India Today.
It's been almost a month since the standoff at the line of actual control began, but there seems to be no signs really of the tensions easing. The centre's made it clear that India will continue to bolster its defences. The Defence Minister has asked the Indian Railways now to provide 11 trains to ferry migrant labourers to Ladakh, Himachal, Jammu and Kashmir to complete border projects. Meanwhile, sources have said that the Indian and Chinese armies are moving in heavy equipment and weaponry. This includes artillery guns and combat vehicles to the rear bases close to the disputed areas in eastern Ladakh as the two militaries remain engaged in a bitter standoff. This as both New Delhi and Beijing have gone on record to say that talks are underway to resolve the crisis. Meanwhile, social media is abuzz with the call to boycott Chinese products. As India-China standoff along the LAC escalates, celebrities as well as social media influencers are vowing to uninstall Chinese apps and also reduce the use of Chinese goods. But is a complete rejection of made-in-China products actually possible?
Boycott Chinese products. That's the top trend in India. Educator and innovator Sonam Wangchuk created massive buzz online after calling for a complete rejection of Chinese goods.
अब हमें जवाब देना होगा और जवाब हमें अपने हाथों में लेके वॉलेट पावर से देना होगा और ये कोई गलत या बुरी बात भी नहीं है। सैंक्शंस सदा प्रयोग किए जाते हैं जब भी कोई गलत करता है, वो चाहे देश हो। उत्तरी कोरिया पर सैंक्शंस लगाते हैं देश, तो हम क्या अपने पर्सनल इकोनॉमिक सैंक्शंस नहीं लगा सकते इन देशों पर? और बॉयकॉट करना कोई नई बात भी नहीं है। आपने सुना होगा स्वदेशी मूवमेंट, बॉयकॉट मूवमेंट तिलक जी के नेतृत्व में 1905 से शुरू हुई थी ब्रिटिश सरकार के खिलाफ बॉयकॉट का।
From uninstalling TikTok to not using Chinese goods in tech, Wangchuk's Boycott China call went viral, with several celebrities joining the chorus.
People who endorses this, celebrities, they endorses Chinese products. They're doing it for money. At least they don't have to endorse and advertise it. And then, consumers who are their fans, will look at their, Bollywood or whatever idol, and then they say, oh, if my idol is saying this, then maybe I should go and buy it. So it's the celebrities, I think, if they start with not endorsing it for money, then it will lead somewhere.
A big Chinese presence in India is in form of TikTok, which has more than 200 million subscribers and has overtaken YouTube in the Indian market. As India-China border tensions escalated, TikTok took off this video of comic Saloni Gaur.
बाबा ये चाइना कैसे नहीं मान रहा है? नहीं मतलब चिपचाप लिए जा रहे हैं तो कुछ भी भेजे जा रही है। पहले अपना अजीनोमोटो वाला खाना बेच के हमारी आते खराब कराई, फिर सस्ता फोन और टिकटॉक बेच के हमारा यूथ बर्बाद कर दिया, फिर ये कोरोना बेच के पूरा देश बंद करा दिया और अब सब धीरे धीरे सही हो ही रहा तो इन्हें हमारी जमीन चाहिए।
But reinstated it after outrage. Saloni now says she won't be going back to the Chinese social media platform.
I think I'll not be putting any content there now. I think I won't be using it because, you know, when I saw that Sonam Wangchuk's video, he was correct. I totally agree with him that we should, you know, reduce our dependency on all of these Chinese products. Slowly, we can move towards that because there is no harm in being a little self-reliant.
But is boycotting everything made in China possible? From electronics to pharma, most Indian industries rely on raw material coming from China. In 2018-19, India's trade with China stood at over $84,000 million. That's around 10% of India's total trade. Imports alone were valued at close to over $70,000 million, which is about 14% of total imports. And India exported goods worth nearly 17,000 million. That's about 5% of total exports. With no end to the Ladakh-China standoff, has time come to hit back at China? Not with the bullet, but with the wallet. Bureau Report, India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.